Located in northwest Indiana, for the past 20 years, Gortrac has been a profitable manufacturing plant. From the beginning, Gortrac has been the kind of company that does one thing and does it well. Gortrac makes flexible tracks designed to house and carry cables and hoses used in heavy-duty industrial applications. The open tracks and enclosed tubes provide protection and maintain proper bend rate for cables and hoses in motion. For a long time, that was enough. Then the economy slowed down. For the first time in the company's history, sales declined. The company needed to make some changes if it was to remain profitable. They responded by bringing in Matt Robbins to manage the plant.
When I came to Gortrac, sales had been depressed about 30% from the prior year. Inventories were high, and new product sales were almost non-existent. I came in with the plan of how do we bring this company back together and get them on track and help them grow into the future. Strategic planning was the primary way for doing that. Using a strategic plan, you actually identify your strengths and weaknesses, look for opportunities for improvement, and what threats may exist to those opportunities. We looked at what are we good at and what could we capitalize on. Then from there we established our mission and our vision. What do we want the company to look like 5 years down the road, 3 years down the road? We actually picked a 3-year strategic plan as our start. And then the owner of the company established our primary objective, and that was to grow the business to 3 times its current size in the next 5 years. The teams we used for strategic objectives were set up as cross-functional teams from floor, office, and staff.
Cross-functional teams, I think, are absolutely wonderful. One of the things that we try and help teams understand is that over years, people have been conditioned to think a certain way. And that's because they've come up through maybe a particular discipline, an engineering discipline or a financial or a production discipline, and therefore they see the world in a certain way and they solve problems in a very specific way. And when you bring people together of different backgrounds, of different skills, and you present them with a common problem, what you find is that the group begins to expand everybody's knowledge. People learn from each other, people get to see the problem in much different lights, understand cause and effect relationships in much different ways, and therefore the group as a whole typically comes out with much better decisions than individuals.
In order to assess what the plant was doing well and what it was doing poorly, Matt had to start exposing the rocks.
One of my favorite sayings is to expose the rocks. If you don't identify the problems in your organization, you're not going to fix them. One of the biggest areas that you can expose rocks in is inventories. Where you have a lot of inventory, you will have problems with some of that product, and that is physical product out on the floor that you have too much of, or the wrong parts, or bad parts that you don't know it until you go get it out of a box and use it. The less of it there is, the more obvious you can find the problems. So exposing the rocks to me is you lower the water so that there's less inventory in this case, and the problems are more obvious, and you can go and fix them. When I came to Gortrac, we had about $1.25 million in inventory, and that's money just tied up, sitting on a shelf, making no money for anyone, gaining nothing for the business. Over the past 2 years, we've declined to below $600,000 worth of inventory, less than half in that same product. When I started in 2001, we had $150,000 worth of product sitting on the shelves that had no value whatsoever. It was on the books as that much value, but it had no use to any customer. No one would buy it. So we obsoleted that product at the end of the first year. Since then, we've continued to obsolete product every month and actually get rid of it, either make it into something else or sell it as salvage or offer it as a discount. When you lower inventory, you actually can be more efficient in how you're operating. That efficiency gain goes through the whole organization, from your supply chain right through to your customers. Having less inventory means your suppliers are supplying you only current product that you need, and they've got a more consistent schedule, so they don't have the peaks and valleys that cause disruptions. Your schedule stays more consistent, and your delivery to your customer stays more consistent.
The sweeping changes in the plant proved to be unsettling for the employees.
People take ownership in what they do, and when you start exposing the rocks, a person's first reaction is, ooh, I'm bad, I did something wrong. And in business, it's almost never an individual's fault that something occurred. It's the system allowed that to happen. It's a result of the practices that are followed.
Eventually, Matt realized he needed help training his people how to uncover flaws in the system and create new operational processes. He turned to world-class manufacturing consultants for assistance.
We chose world-class manufacturing as our consultants because they really had a people approach to let's train the people and let's help them learn how to implement lean manufacturing so that it could be an ongoing and continued process.
When we first came to Gortrac, what we found is an organization that had a very good plan, very good leadership in terms of a management staff that actively wanted to get people involved in the process and knew in what direction they were going to. Became a case of how do we get people excited, how do people understand their roles, and how do we help people know what they need to do in order to bring that plan to fruition. It's important to get the people involved in the process as early as possible because when you look at competition in the marketplace, if you have 6 individuals dictating orders out to an organization as to what needs to be done, the organization is limited by the creative skills and the perceptions and the knowledge of those 6 people. If you had 106 people who are all actively and passionately trying to deliver good quality products and services, I guarantee you that the organization will be much more competitive. We look at the plans and the objectives of the business, and what we begin to do is give them tools, provide them with concepts, show them ways of accomplishing things locally at their specific departments or teams or work processes that allows them to get these things done.
Gortrac employees are involved in 2 types of teams. Everyone continues to work on strategic action items in their cross-functional teams. And now, departmental teams meet regularly to work on increasing efficiency within their departments.
One of the things that we ask people to do is stand back and literally flowchart their process. To literally draw a picture. Where do you come from? Where do you go to? What are all the places you have to visit during the course of the day? Where does the material move? Where does information come and go? And as people stand back and begin to look at that process, they begin to understand that maybe they need to do their jobs differently. If they connect point A to C instead of doing B, the process would become much easier. And so people begin to resequence jobs, resequence the way they do things, pick up new information and now make decisions at lower levels in the organization because they understand the reason why they're doing something and what really needs to be done.
Now when you look at the production floor where there used to be racks and racks of material and bins, there are now racks of empty bins. We've taken down many of the racks in the facility, put things right on the floor in the immediate work areas so it's obvious and visible in your work area. Talk about exposing a rock. When you can see the product sitting right where you need it, when you need it, you can see whether or not it's the right thing or whether it has something wrong with it. When you go to build an order, that product is immediately available, so you don't spend the first half hour of a job going to find the product, bringing it down off a shelf, and then starting the job.
The process, from a frontline worker standpoint, makes their life easier every day and lowers the frustration. Many times it makes it dramatically easier. I'm not climbing a ladder. I'm not lifting down a heavy box. I'm not bending over to the floor. The work is coming to me. The concept of a work cell. I am making the entire product here. I understand how part A fits with part B, C, and D. So I can help make the process work.
One of the benefits of increased efficiency is the creation of a more flexible plant. This has allowed the company to take advantage of surprising new business opportunities.
We went after new product development. The growth for the company was based on new product development. We had originally hoped for a new product that would add sales in 2004, which this plan was created in 2002. What we got was a new product in 2002, being roll-up doors. Currently, over 20% of our business is a new roll-up door that we never even thought of when we first met for this strategic plan. The roll-up door business actually was started for this company by one of our representatives sitting in a restaurant looking out the window and seeing a fire truck and thinking, that roll-up door on that fire truck has a lot of parts like we make. as aluminum extrusions, plastic parts, stainless steel parts. So he actually brought the idea back to the company and said, I think you guys could make these. And he had detailed pictures. He had actually gone in and exact detail what this door was made like. And our engineers looked at it and said, yeah, that's a lot like our processes. And next thing you know, we are manufacturing roll-up doors for fire trucks. And the customers are loving them.
By putting the responsibility for streamlining operations into the hands of the workers, Gortrac has succeeded in reversing their decline in profit. Since the workers feel the pride of ownership, management has set the stage for continuous improvement for years to come.
They say that nothing fails like success in a company. So to be able to rest on your laurels never happens in business. You need to continually look at, how do I do this better? Your competitors will do it if you don't.
Gortrac, I think, is going to have a wonderful future because it starts at the top with strong leadership. And it's one of the things that Gortrac has. They have a leader that has vision, that understands that the success of the organization is built with the people, not in spite of them, and therefore their efforts to continually train, to continually bring new tools and new ideas and new experiences to their people, to actively have them involved in the process will absolutely guarantee them a competitive organization long into the future.